Right now we are in the middle of the Getreidegasse, at the Hagenauer Platz. The Hagenauers were a famous trader family in Salzburg that owned a lot of real estate. One of the most famous estates is the most photographed house of the city of Salzburg. It is the birth house of Mozart. Mozart's mother and father moved here right after their marriage. They lived in a small apartment on the 3rd floor for 26 years. You can see the house where the Mozarts lived in later on, in another segment of the app, which is called Die Tour rechts der Salzach. When visiting the apartment, you should take the time to look at the housing conditions back then. Not really nice, to be honest. The Mozarts had 7 kids, but because the childhood mortality was so high back then, only 2 of the 7 children survived. The youngest one was Wolfgang Amadeus. Wolfgang Amadeus lived here until he was 19, when the family moved to the other side of the town, to the Marktplatz. When we go over this place, please imagine that there used to be a fountain at this exact place right here. This fountain was the so-called Löcherbrunnen. Fountains were very important back at that time to provide people with water. In the water of the fountains were also lively fish, but they were kept fresh and alive down there. But just think about that the Mozarts had to get their drinking water not from the water pipeline like we do, but from the fountain that they had to carry into the 3rd floor at every time of the year. Another thing to think about is that there was no canalization back then. There were many stables in the Getreidegasse, and all the refuse was just dumped on the streets. What happened then? There was a temporary disgusting smell in the air. I have talked about the Alm Canal a couple of times now. It was an underground water supplying system. This canal was dammed up and flooded the city. That means that the water could easily run through all the streets to clean everything up. The water just ran directly into the river again after cleaning everything up. Another interesting thing was that at the time where the water was flooded down the streets, dirt was just seen as completely normal, and that people were wearing some type of Lady Gaga shoes with big heels to avoid the dirt. Wolfgang Amadeus lived on the other side of the city up until 1789, when he had a big fight with the Archbishop Colloredo, which made him move to Vienna in the end, where he sadly died 10 years later.